With us is Citroen enthusiast John Freeman. John, tell me, why do you pick Citroens as your favourite hobby car?
Well, actually it was, I got it by default. I saw it about 25 years ago in a place in Subiaco. It was sitting out the front of a house with grass growing up through it. It was obviously unwanted or unused, and I'd always wanted an old car to do up, and months went by, and eventually I went back a few times, and I went and saw the man, and yes, he said it was for sale, and because he said it wouldn't drive, front wheel drive. He said there was something wrong with the gearbox, and that was all news to me, because I didn't even know it was a front wheel drive at the time or anything. So I got it home on a trailer with a friend, and eventually all ran, it was all complete, and eventually it was just the drive shafts. I got a wood rough drive key in the drive shafts, and that was just sheared, so I put another drive key in it and drove it away, so it was quite good.
So over all those years of restoration, what were the surprises you found?
Well, surprising enough, not knowing anything about Citroens, and then I had one to work on. It was a little bit different because I worked on aircraft for 40 years, different engines and things. But this one, you know, front wheel drive, independent suspension, and rack and pinion steering, and a lot of innovative things like that. It was a bit of a challenge, but I enjoyed it, and over the years I've sort of really become to appreciate what an advanced car it was. It was a great car for its time, and still is. So
out on the road, what's it like to drive?
It's excellent. It's very smooth, very stable, very flat cornering. 3-speed gearbox. Fairly torquey motor. You can use top gear just for pottering around corners and things quite suitably. But very quiet, comfortable. Telescopic shock absorbers and all that sort of stuff, and torsion bars. It rides very well.
And famous in the film The Day of the Jackal.
Yes, it's been in a few of those things, and early TV shows. I've seen it. Never really appreciated it as a vehicle, but now I have one, and so I'm very pleased.
What about the other Citroens you have at home?
Well, I have two more Citroens at home. I have another one the same as this one, 48 Slough built Citroen. That one, for some unknown reason, I decided to put an ID motor in it, which is, some people do that, which is the next model motor up. A lot of fiddly work, but I hope it'll be worth it. But this one behind us is fairly well original in its mechanics, apart from the colour scheme's a bit my own idea, but I quite like that. So originally when I got it, it was black, which was pretty standard for a 48 Citroen in those days. So after a little while looking at it, I decided I didn't want it black, I wanted it my own colour, so that's what I did.
So now we have une belle voiture, eh?
Yes, it's pretty good.
To be precise then, John, what model year is this one?
Well, this one is about in the middle of the range of the Citroens. It's a 48 Slough built, that's the English built Citroen. The car was originally sort of designed about 33, and then about a year later they had it in production in 34, and they built them through to 55. So this one sits in just before the war. It's a light 15, 1900 or so cc's, 3-speed box, and the actual model is what they call a light 15 in England. They changed the name from the French configuration, and they made a few differences in it. With so they put the leather upholstery in, which is English, and a bit of wood tacked here and there, which made it English, and put the Lucas electrics in it, which was a good idea.
I understand the other visual thing is the different headlights on the British built models.
Yeah, the British ones were different in the fact that the different bumpers on them, and the Lucas electric, which was more of a round headlight instead of a more bullet shape, and the French ones are a little bit more basic with vinyl seating and a painted dashboard, whereas this has got a wooden dashboard, which is typical of the English type of car in those days.
And 20 years ago when you restored this, it was a concours car then. today it's perhaps lost a little bit of that lustre.
Well, when I bought it, it was basically complete, but it had the usual thing with cars: rust in the floor, rust in the doors, engine and gearbox needed work. But I did do it up over 20 years ago, and it was pretty flash then. But I always sort of think of it as an earlier restoration, gracefully aging, so that's about where it is now.
So what's your feeling on the concept of concours where cars have to be put on trailers and perfect?
When you're in the car club things, there's a full range of ideas and people and things. Most of the ideas I like to use the car, but certainly people who want to put the time and effort and money into preparing it, I think there's nothing wrong with that. But I would rather see them actually a working model rather than an exhibit. I know people have got cars that have restored them and they've come up better than they were originally, which is possibly not quite what it's all about. No, my car is, as I say, it's an older restoration, and it's fairly well used, not as much as I would like, but it's out on the road a fair bit. And I've driven to Canberra and back in it, so it does well.
And a final question, you've obviously had a lot of fun trying to read the original parts books and service manuals in French.
Well, in some ways yes, but I ignored most of the French part of it and just went about it with my normal engineering mechanical experience and treated it just as a proper car.
Many thanks for your time, John, and your interest.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Yeah.